She cannot claim sick leave.
I'm only allowed
Okay,
one
even if she
month
said that
off.
she
You
was
still-
feeling
Mazur?
If it was Palau, he couldn't care, he would stay.
I wouldn't be here.
Okay, you ready?
Do another 7-year stint.
So let's just get this going on the road. Okay, good morning, everyone here. We will, my name is Selena Ashland. I'm the vice chairwoman of the CLB board, calling this regular board meeting to order at 10:22. So we'll start with roll call.
Geraldine Stanley, CLB Secretary.
Rita Guam, member.
Melita Santos, Administrative Assistant.
Nita Bailey, Investigator Supervisor.
Matt Cruz, member.
Vince Ariola, DPW Director and member.
JP Elgin, CLB Director.
Marcus Finogna, CLB Investigator.
Andrew Mesa, CLB Investigator.
Again, Selena Ashland, member and vice chairwoman of the board. Okay, moving on, we'll review our public notices. So the public notice published in the Daily Post, Monday, May 13th, in accordance with our public notice requirements. Okay, notice looks good, you have to,
It was
Right.
published again on the, once on the 8th and then second one on the 13th.
oh, yes, apologize. So first posting Wednesday, May 8th, 2024, second posting Monday, May 13th, 2024. Public notices are good. Moving on, take a few moments to review the board meetings from our April 17th meeting.
April
Do you have a
17th?
copy?
No,
Okay.
it says February, I will change that to April 17th.
The one in front of us
Yes.
should be April.
April 17th. I will amend that.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve, subject to the date change?
So move, with subject to corrections.
Second,
I'll second.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Board minutes have been approved, subject to the date change. Alright, this time we ask for public comment. No individuals from the public present, so we'll move on to our section reports. Administrative division.
Oh.
No.
No. He had asked if there's any online.
Oh, no
Nobody.
members of the public present online. So we'll move on, section reports, administrative division.
Hi, I'm Carmelita Santos, reporting for the administration section. To date, we have for 2024, which is expiring June 30 of this year, we have 963 active contractors, we have 30 inactive, master electrician 33, a total of 1,026. Our renewal to date from May 15 to May 14, we have active contractors have renewed 144, inactive contractors 2, and master electrician 11, total of 157. So there are 4 new contractors received after the last section report from April 17. We have 2 new corporation. It's Northern Constructors Incorporated, and we have HP Communications Inc. Army for Northern is Mr. Lopez, Melbert Lopez, and for HP Communication is Alma Olum. And then we have 2 LLCs, new West Tech Builders. With Army Gary Garcia. He had changed from a sole proprietor to LLC. He was originally the sole proprietor in December of 2023, and then currently moved to LLC. And then DMW Construction is Mr. Liang, Dave Liang. He is the new Army for the company. So, that's the two new RMs. So in the COB special revenue funds, actual collection for the year to date, received from DOR accounting is $194,757.
For the collection, is it for calendar year or is it from fiscal year?
It's from the beginning of that fiscal year, which is October. Yeah, so the last report, this report came from April 30 special fund report from DOA, so I just grabbed that from that report.
What report?
From April 30, it's like a special fund report.
Revenue report?
Yeah, it's a special funds report, so I got that from the DOA. That's actuals. You know, some of the contractors have come in to pay for their, but we don't know if it's a bounce check, right? So the real report is from the DOA,
Yeah.
so we have to have it from them directly.
Yeah, I guess, just to clarify the last board meeting, I did ask, the AO to check on the revenue expenditures, which is supposedly the new system, so that's what you're looking at, that report?
Yes, even to our account numbers, they're different, so when I say, can I have this account number from prior, it's a new system account number, so.
So you are actually getting reports that you can look
Yeah,
and
we
compare to what you have?
Yeah, I just
Because
asked BBMR or DOA,
And
or
does
the
it-
source.
Does it go,
Does
equal or
balance.
match what you're
New
doing?
balance.
No, what we
Reconcile.
receive is always different from the actuals, because when they have a bounce check or so,
There's gonna be a
yeah,
lag.
it's
Right,
official.
right.
If they contact them directly, they don't even tell us, so we don't know. So it's
So
our
reconciling
account,
is,
yeah, it's our accounting
But-
system.
But it still comes out, what, the 197,000 year to date, for example, would be something that you know that it is
It's
about
there,
that.
yes,
That's
yes.
the official.
now with that, and how do we process if they have a bounce check? And then if it's for a fee, for licensing fee, how do we contact the individual, or you have to do the reconciliation in that?
It'll be accounting to let us know directly. I think just a couple of times they called us,
And said, okay, and then we contacted the contractor and said,
bring back the license we gave you.
right,
Is it pretty frequent?
No,
What do we have, like one or two a year?
yeah,
I would
very
think so.
minimal.
So we issue the license without
the
making
check
sure
clearing.
that the payment
Yeah.
cleared?
Yeah, because we have nothing to do with our banks, you
Yeah.
know.
Right.
Typically,
Yeah.
that's, but if it's only one or two a year,
Yeah,
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 it's very
yeah,
minimal.
it's not.
That's pretty good.
we got 37, we got a
That's
problem.
better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it is.
Percentage wise.
And so, if I can, Madam Chair, so these 1,026 expiring June 30th this year? So are we, so when they renew, there's gonna be like a flood of renewals here?
The things already that have,
They're feeding that already?
they already
Yeah.
have renewed, they're good. He
Okay.
said they'd get, there's still a minimal, like maybe 900.
Okay, but their expiration is still June 30th, 2025?
If they renew, it'll be next year.
Like if they renew it in April, it'll
It'll
be
be-
April?
No,
It's
June
still
30.
Everybody is June.
June 30.
What we wanna know, what we want, we don't want a repeat of having a backlog of people applying because they always complain.
So we
Yeah,
offered
So
it
where
March.
can we have a number of what is outstanding and have it so that we can either send out notices and say a reminder just to let you know.
We can do an email,
Alright,
a mass email.
In other words, is there gonna be a long line of traffic out here
yeah, and our.
on June 29th?
And
That's
we can
kind of
electronically
the way it is.
submit, right, the renewal?
They can, and then we validate it, and then they come in and we can get their license ready, and then they just bring us the check and payment.
How long does it take?
It's easier.
Say like if I walk in here,
Not long, less than 5
Yeah,
minutes.
CLP is pretty quick.
If there's
with,
somebody there, pretty
She
quick.
tried it, she,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they just gotta go
she
to,
tested our
Yeah,
system.
now they
Treasure
can walk
Guam?
down to the other side.
do they have to go to Treasure Guam?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're-
Pay it, they
yeah.
come back,
Come
and they
back
get,
They
Okay.
themselves make the payment.
we're faster than revenue and tax? For the
Sounds
record.
like it.
Wait, for the record.
For the record.
I just don't want it to.
Okay.
Lucky she's not
No,
here.
good on the staff,
Yeah.
Yes,
good on the staff, that we can process them
Yeah.
fast. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Get ready for the deadly.
So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Carmelita, appreciate the
You're welcome.
report. Moving on to Ms. Nita Bailey for our investigation division.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good morning, everyone. Investigation section report, May 15, 2024. We have 6 open cases, 3 closed, no citations, amount of fines to date 95,000, building permits 81. Open cases, case number 2021-0904, Ed Ilaw GMI versus Menzies, C13 electrical contractor and license. This is still pending for our hearing. We were assigned already an AG for our case, Mr. Norman Miller, but I think he's trying to reach out to Menzies for to schedule for the hearing. So we haven't received an update yet.
Wow.
Yeah,
For years?
it's 2 years.
We've been waiting for a hearing?
Yeah, to schedule for the hearing because
So I thought we just established the date and then it's the
Yeah, you get
respondent either
subpoena,
shows up or.
you get a subpoena to show and then.
Yeah, we should
I
establish
think
the date.
based on communications, the AG is the one that's going to schedule it for us.
And considering that we keep having a revolving door of AGs here,
Yeah.
that is adding to the time frame, so.
We have a hearing officer, which is Attorney Rivera, and then our attorney that's gonna represent us because Tom Keller, I guess, cannot. So we have Norman Miller, and he's the one that's going to, or the scheduling will be taken care
So
of.
how often do we communicate with the AG's office with regards to the scheduling?
Chair, I can answer that question. So basically what's been the issue is, like Ms. Nita was saying, the AG's kind of pulling the strings on this. So we try to hit them up at least once every week or every other week,
that's
an
it.
email,
That's good, that's
an
good.
email, and
Just make sure we document it.
so what Ms. Nita is saying, we just recently got assigned an attorney.
Yeah.
We just recently, that's like the last month, we just got
Right.
recently assigned, so now he's reaching out and we're kind of like in a holding pattern. He said he'll get a hold of us when he's ready to actually move forward and set a time to meet, but it's really all on their time.
I understand
We-
that,
yeah.
but it has to appear, or we have to do our due diligence with regards to pushing the issue. Because
Yeah, too.
this was a complaint to us and
Yes.
if the complainant says, you guys aren't pushing it, it's gonna fall
And
upon us.
that was our concern also,
So
like how long
we
is it
need to
gonna
do,
go?
make sure we document all our communications with the AG's office,
Yes.
so that we're covering ourselves.
Always
We
an
have,
email.
we have.
Okay.
Are we under any timeline?
Yeah, is there any
The
statute
statute
in
of
statute,
limitations,
statute of
yeah.
limitation?
Yeah, that's
We
what
were,
I'm.
honestly,
Yes.
we were talking about that with Ms. Nita, and it's like, the statute of limitation, we don't know it. We asked the question wasn't answered,
Then
Oh.
press it.
yeah.
No.
So, my understanding is that, we're still good as far as the statute of limitation, but I'm not for sure. But we can send another email and put out give the board the latest.
Because the citation was issued April of last year. So,
But it says the case was in September 4th, 2021.
yeah, we only got everything finalized, when it was reviewed by the AG, and then after that, the board decided to issue the citation. And when the citation was issued, then we changed again our legal counsel. It was Sandra when it was issued, and then we went back to Tom. And then now, AG Norman Miller is the one that's gonna represent us.
Well, let's if we can then, let's push for a hearing date between now and the next meeting, so when we have your update next meeting, at least we have a hearing date scheduled.
Is everything going not only to our legal counsel, but CC to the Attorney General himself?
No,
The Attorney
it's-
General?
No,
Right.
So, but in kind of an answer to these two guys' question is, when you send this follow-up to the AG's office, just ask them if there is
Yeah, somebody in that position.
No,
Yeah.
if there's a limited,
Statute of limitations
Go.
on the
I've
case,
been
the statute of
concerned with that
limitations.
since April because, you know,
No,
it's
as
been
our
a year.
legal representative, that is the Attorney General.
The good news, I look at it as good news because for a long time, there was no activity on this case, for a long time. I wanna say it's taking some traction in the last 4 months, 3 months, because, it was dormant for a long time. Finally, Mr. Keeler said he's not gonna represent, and then we pushed it and we kept on sending emails. Finally, now we have an attorney representing us. That just happened recently, so.
Yeah, so it sounds like most of the delay is out of our control, but as long as we.
Yes, but we're on it. We're,
continue
As long as we're
to-
documenting it.
yeah, we're documenting, we're sending emails, and, we really want this off our books, and we wanna
Yeah.
find some resolution to this,
Yeah.
whatever that is.
It's a 300,000
That's a lot.
citation.
I hope that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, it's a money
Interest?
to the government.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
So we'll
so
follow
moving
up
on.
on that again.
okay, number 2, case number 2023-0302, Mark Parks versus Genova Construction. It is a septic tank and leaching field issues. Actually, Mr. Parks came to the office and submitted copy of his redesign. But based on the meeting that they have, there's supposed to be a third-party investigation report to determine the problem with septic tank, and we haven't received that investigation report yet. Mr. Park kinds of confused. He was thinking that he can go ahead and just give us, the redesign. But based on their meeting, we still want to know who's responsible for the failure of the septic tank. But we know the leaching field is already a failure of the design because there's no percolation, and it was on the contract that Mr. Parks was the one that's supposed to provide that. So that is already kind of a resolved issue. But as far as the septic tank, we still wanted to know the responsible party. But I think this could be a matter that's gonna be forwarded to civil, later on.
To the forwarded to,
So, okay.
To civil case.
who is the third party
We
that's doing the investigation or is supposed to?
they're supposed to hire an engineering firm because they don't want the contractor to get their own investigator, for
Who's
conflict.
hiring? The
Mr.
homeowner?
Park, yeah, the homeowner.
So we're gonna put the onus on him?
Yeah, when the violation is,
Mhm.
could be with.
Well, that's for him, he can get recovery in his
Yeah.
civil action.
In this particular design, he's the one that provided the contractor the
Yes.
design.
Yeah.
And that was the issue. So he provided the design to the contractor. The contractor says he built it per design. So now the argument is, was it the design or was it the contractor not doing the job well?
Yeah.
So that's where the argument is, whose fault is it?
EPA? EPA more than us.
Did they get a clearance from them or?
Don't know.
They got all the paperwork.
Yeah, they got it. They've got a roundtable meeting here with EPA, and then Brian Burden, because the contractor was disputing that it was approved by EPA with all the agencies, So that's why in the end of the meeting, they decided to get a third party to,
Was there an inspection during the construction?
So is the
It was
homeowner, does the homeowner still wanna go through with a third party investigation? Yes, no?
Yeah, he wanted
Yes?
to know because he wanted to recover, the cost for the repair of the,
So he still wants to do the third party investigation, but he also has a second set of plans for his septic tank and leaching field that he wants to move forward with.
yes.
But he doesn't wanna foot the bill. He wants the contractor to build another septic tank because he
Yeah,
feels
he
that,
feels-
he feels that it's not his fault.
Who did the second set of plans?
He
You know?
did.
He did it
just-
himself.
He did it himself. He just came here and then we were surprised that
Why,
he's
is he an
doing it.
engineer or something?
Because he
No,
got
no, no,
certifications
not
to do
him.
it?
Oh,
he had
Somebody
somebody.
had somebody
He had
do it.
somebody,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was a stamp and everything ready to go. But then again, because the issue is who's gonna pay for,
Do you remember who stamped it?
I think it's Willie Flores, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
In a different location, obviously,
Mhm.
near the house, right?
It's a redesign, yeah. but we cannot implement it until the issue.
Has that
is
gone through
resolved.
EPA or anything?
He hasn't
further?
started it yet because they have to resolve the issue for the payment, you know. So the director actually spoke to him and then advised him about the avenues on, you know,
Right.
how to recover.
Yeah, so we're trying to find a resolution, but obviously we come to an impasse where no one's taking accountability of whose fault it is. So we informed them that, you know, you have an option to have a civil case opened up and fight it in court, because both sides are saying, contractor saying I built it to the specs, individuals saying nothing's wrong with the design, and all the agencies stamped it, and so it went to the.
Has the final retainer been paid to the contractor?
No, there's still a pending,
No?
there's still a pending,
And so occupancy has been issued?
occupancy has been issued.
Yeah?
If
Occupancy has been issued.
Occupancy has been issued, they're using the house after like 6 months or 8 months later, then.
He drains it like once a
Yeah.
week, he
Yeah,
says.
So-
so the
Holy
thing,
cow.
it failed
So-
because there's no percolation.
He says he
how did
drains
it get
so much.
approved if the percolation was
Yeah.
deficient?
That's the question also.
We don't know how he got past that, but immediately after he moved in, after getting the occupancy moving in, shortly after that, he says he's been draining it at least
That's
once
when
a
the
week.
problem started,
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
occupancy.
Yeah, after the
Yeah.
occupancy, so it passed all the inspection, basically.
What, would you know how much the retainer is still due to the contractor?
I heard, the last time it was like 30,000, that was. there
That'll
was
get you a
still
new
some-
septic
Yeah,
tank.
that's just
Yeah.
motivation.
Yeah,
That
so
would be
that-
motivation enough.
Why
That
would you
too,
wanna
I
dig up
think-
some more in your,
Because the first
Because
one
I
I
wanna
know.
flush my toilet.
I think because of this case, now there's gonna be a requirement for perk tests in that area of the island. Not-
oh my goodness, is this Jonia?
Yeah, it should.
Yeah. Clay, all clay.
Well, I'm there.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not buying you.
Yeah, unless it's hooked up to
okay,
public.
so where do we go, what does the board have to do? Do we just sit and wait or what?
We will just update, for the next board meeting for, if, Mr. Parks could submit already his third-party report.
We'll do a follow-up on that again.
Okay.
We'll do a follow-up on that and have something to report. Everybody knows what they need to do, and then to resolve it, they're just not wanting to, come to an agreement.
Yeah, see, if money's the issue, I'd like to know what the numbers are. Both for a new septic tank, for damages, and I think at one point he was seeing, was talking about going to court to recover all his pumping expenses.
Yeah.
You know, if he's pumping
That's
once a
still the
week
case.
for how many weeks,
Then he needs to take it to the
that's a
court.
lot.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Not a,
Go
that's
civil.
not
Yeah.
our,
In
our
this case,
purview,
we'll
so.
really go civil.
So at
But-
this time, we're just waiting for the updated,
Third-party.
third-party report.
We'll do a follow-up. We'll have
Okay.
something.
But our investigation will be used in the courts
Yeah.
for this case, so let's make sure.
Okay,
Okay, number 3, case number 2024-0105, Ronald Nesbitt versus RPG Construction. This is a warranty issue also, and the corrective action is ongoing. Hopefully by this week, because the problem here, the homeowner is only available on weekend, so it's hard for the contractor to work. That's why it's kind of taking so long, but we're hoping that by this week it will be this coming Saturday, Andrew.
So they actually completed all the workmanship issues. The concern was for the underneath the kitchen sink with he's claiming to have ammonia smell. So it's kind of weird that they're trying to do like a vent, but Mr. Nesbitt is refusing to settle as part of them doing a vent issue. You know, trying to save the
No,
smell,
I know,
but
I know.
you can have, I don't know, if Waterworks has something where they can offer to do a test. I'm not sure if they do have some, because that's where the P-trap's at. That's
Yeah, I
where
was about
he's-
to say, the P-trap should take care of that.
Right, so that's why I don't know. Might
We'll
have
do a
to-
follow-up.
So we'll try our best to resolve it, by next board meeting. So number 4, Manuel Alvarez, case number 2024-0203, Manuel Alvarez versus Arad Construction. This is a no building permit. We issued a citation with warning, and he has a promissory note. He already paid 2,000 of the 5,000 fine that we have fined him. So this is still an open case until he pays his total 5,000 citation. Number 5, case
That's
number
the manual or the construction company?
Aurora.
He's,
Yeah.
he's
So,
got another
Here's
case.
another case here, number 5, case number 2024-0303, Francisco Crisostomo versus Ararat. Same issue, no building permit, he just went ahead and redo the roofing without any plans or anything. So, we gave him a warning, now, we're recommending to suspend his license. We already, submitted the accusation and he received it on the 7th of May, so he has 15 days to respond to it. If he will not contest or whatever, then the board can act on it to do the, the suspension or whatever recommendation.
These are two guys that came last.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Those are the two guys who came last board meeting, so we acted on it, so we cannot tolerate, repetitive, violations, especially no building permit and no inspection whatsoever. So we have served, the accusation to him.
So did they get a building permit?
Building permit,
No
no
building-
plan,
no
no
building permit.
drawing.
He's
So-
a licensed contractor with us, sir, but this particular project, he did not get a building
So
permit.
are they moving to get a building permit?
No, there's a season is,
Yeah, cease and desist.
on their projects.
Okay, so the project stopped?
Yes.
How far along is the project?
I think they already poured the roof.
It's done.
Without
done.
inspection, we
No,
don't know.
It's done.
Breakfast is ready?
No,
It's
yes,
incomplete.
not to laugh,
It's
but.
incomplete.
No, but the roofing is done.
Poured, but finishing
Well,
hasn't
They just
been-
have no
Hey,
plans.
if the roof is done, then he can finish all those other things.
So we have to cease and desist and possibly just
Lift his
suspend.
license.
Because it's,
So to confirm, the suspension is for 6 months? I think that's what we discussed last meeting.
I'm worried about the homeowner, do they have a
Right,
mortgage on
because now
this?
who's gonna
Who's gonna
certify
finish
that?
Construction.
No.
Who's gonna certify that?
Is there a bond on this? Is this being financed? Is
No.
it cash?
Is
it
it,
is cash,
Cash.
yeah.
is it conforming?
It is a cash, this is the cousin of Manuel Alvarez, he was the one who
Senior
recommended
citizen.
it.
The former warden over there.
They ought to know better. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
That's it.
Francisco, yeah.
That's the cousin of Manuel.
Oh, is this in Salad?
Yep, it is,
Salad,
absolutely,
right?
yes.
Mhm.
Relative?
Still
Yeah.
child,
DPW inspector.
right back, precious one.
Next one.
Huh?
I knew that would be evidence.
Yeah, yes.
So, number 6, case number 2024-0404, Joven Malyari Jam versus J&G Construction and Payment.
So I spoke to the army and they were able to settle with Mr. Jobin Malari, so they'll be sending me the copy of the check and we'll be closing that
Okay.
case. So they were able to settle for that not payment,
Good job, Andrew. So, it's gonna be close on.
yes.
J&G did not pay?
That
Or
was my
it the other
first.
way?
Yeah, J&G
did not pay.
They did Jam was the subcontractor to one of their projects, so Jam was the one who made the complaint, so they were able to settle this past week
Wow.
Yeah.
for the
I
non-payment.
hope to
They
come
didn't
in to be
get paid,
paid.
so.
That was my exact thing when I saw this.
J&G?
Okay, so.
They cooperated quick, they settled.
Quick.
Settled. So closed cases, case number 2022-24. Sorry, it's a typo, 2022. 2024-0305, Marcel Biluan versus RPG, Iloilo Development, unfinished project. This project has been completed too, so we closed the case. Parties are already settled and agreed to drop it because it's already completed. It's only container house. Okay. So number 2, case number 2023-0903, Joseph Group versus some builders. This is an unfinished project, and this is the one that the board decided to suspend the license indefinitely. Let's see.
What happened here? I'm sorry, I don't recall.
This is an unfinished project in Jonia. Marcus, can you
Talafofo,
elaborate?
right? Hang out?
Yes.
Talafofo?
Talafofo project, yes. It was a time frame issue that they were surpassing the deadline, like for almost a year maybe. We gave them a deadline by the end of December last year. They still didn't complete it. The homeowner tried to settle, the contractor couldn't afford to settle out. So we suspended their license because we issued them a citation too. They didn't even get inspections for their project. They are permitted, they are licensed, they did have plans, but never got the periodical inspections from DPW. So we issued them a citation, I think it was 5,000.
Yeah.
And then they never made that payment. They asked for a promissory note. She never came back. Just zero response since then.
Well, where's the house, or what's happening with the house?
Currently, it's still not done.
They're going to court.
I believe that's what
They're
they're gonna
going
do.
to court.
Yeah.
They're going to court.
Yes. I believe the homeowner's gonna try to take them to court. Yeah.
So in terms of the contractor, was this a sole or is it a company?
It's a sole
It's a
proprietor
sole
with an
proprietor,
RMA.
Yes.
So she has her RMA.
And then the board,
Who's
suspended.
whose company is this, Hangout?
Hang on, her name is Marife Pepito.
And
That's the
RME?
owner. The RME was, at first it was Mario Gakakao, and then she changed it to Abad.
Yes.
Should the RMEs be aware of all the necessary?
Well, the RME when the house was being built was Mario Gakakao, but then I'm not so sure why, you know.
The new RME
he
didn't
did
know
not-
that or follow
Yeah,
the proper procedures? What's the liability or the accountability on the RME's side with this? Is it just, because RMEs bounce around, they have,
Yeah, because they can represent up to 3.
right, so if the RME is knowingly, you know, they know what the regulations are and requirements, are knowingly working on these projects but are not adhering to.
So is there any like flag on the
Recourse.
RME,
Yeah.
the RME
I
has
think,
record?
like a couple, Mr. Joseph Cruz had requested for documentation regarding Mario Gakakao, so I think it will be part of their lawsuit.
But what about us? What did we do? Do we
Yeah.
just
We,
track the
No, we bring
contractor or do we track
bring in
the?
the RME, we bring in the RME and we question them, and so in this particular case, my understanding is he disassociated himself
he
from this.
disassociated.
So when he was brought into the project, they already had issues, a lot of issues before him. I guess he not knowing that it kind of falls on him partially, came into the project, did some of the project, but not majority of it, some of the project, and that's when we brought them in and spoke to him, the RME and Ms. Marfay. And then after that meeting, I think he had thought things over and came in and said, I'm gonna disassociate myself with this contractor. This contractor is not the first time that she's run into some issues, and that's why we permanently suspended her.
I know, but the RME still should be held accountable.
I think in this
There's
case,
some
the,
responsibility, even if he did any amount of work
Right.
within that, he has to do his due diligence.
I think the owner was not forthcoming with her RMEs as well. And then they got into
It
this
doesn't matter whether or not forthcoming
like
with
the
it.
RME only found out
The
when we called them in
RME should
about
do
it.
their due diligence when they enter into contract with
That's
an
true.
individual. They're professionals, they have
Yeah.
certifications.
That's true.
They need to know, don't tell me that they're ignorant to the fact that these things have to be done.
Maybe we
Because
can
that's
put.
part of their certification. I think that we should also be tracking the RMEs, because they can go from one place to another. They could do, so they need to be held accountable.
Should
We
we
need to
put
con-
something on the bottom of that RME, as far, and then approve it to the board, that they,
That-
they'll that you're gonna assume, responsibility,
It should have been
before-
there already. It should be, whenever they
Responsible
represent
management,
it.
but-
Yeah, I think that's
Responsible
under like the
management.
definition of
Yeah,
what an
responsible
RME
management.
is.
I don't think
Yeah.
the board needs to
Just
be
a
responsible
very-
for that, you guys need to
That's
put that in
something-
whatever.
Right.
Yeah, just put it in.
It's just a very complicated issue here because I
It's-
think this is the third RME. The one that came to the notice to appear is the third RME. which is on the finishing already. The first one was Efren, right, Marcus? And then Efren disassociated, and then Mario took over. So the problem is when the case was brought to us, it was a bad already, and you know. So what portion of
That's-
what
it
portion?
doesn't
But
matter.
this, I think it's this case aside, I think
We
as
need
an
to-
agency, we need to ensure that we're also enforcing
RME.
and holding
The
the
previous RMEs too.
And then
Yeah.
if you're there and you're the fourth RME, obviously there's been something wrong with it, in which the other RMEs are disassociated. Anytime there's an issue with it, their easy way out is to disassociate, and then there it's done. You know, even after they've proceeded and it's come to this point in construction, but they haven't gotten the permitting or
But
We
again,
can, Ms. Nita, we can,
There's no-
we can write that down, red flag it, and then talk about what, some of the ways that we can track that concern as far as RMEs just kind of jumping around and not.
Because what we normally do if they are sold with RME, we always on the notice to appear, or we always put the RME also. I think in this case here, we should have put on the citation also the RME to be cited, right? But we did not do
we
that.
just need to track them, because
Right.
if there is a pattern of RMEs that are being, you know, they move from one contractor to another, and the contractor gets hit, but the RME doesn't, and he's the
That
one
makes
who's,
sense, that makes
then,
sense.
I kinda have a question. On the RMEs is there any tracking capability to say ABC RME did all these projects, or is there something in whatever system you have that can flag them on all these projects? Is there something like that? Like, you have this that shows money, but is there something that tracks RMEs, contractors?
I think the admin has it because when you're sending the application to us, you would put a note that like they are,
Sending other people,
yeah,
other
like how
agents.
many RMEs
Yeah,
already.
Yeah,
they
so
have.
like,
Yeah.
we
have
going
that,
back to
yeah.
that.
because it's a
How
limit
many?
of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we-
with
we-
specific projects,
But
That one I don't know,
but
but
the
the
other
specific,
projects
specific
we
projects.
don't have, because sometimes we only know.
or even with just the complaints that are filed, who's associated, what RMEs are
Yeah.
associated with it, so that you can see a pattern, if there is a pattern.
so maybe an action item for
Right,
the director
right.
and staff is if we can create a tracking system for
drop
the
down.
RMEs to list the associated contractors that they're doing work with, and
But,
then their respective
yeah,
projects.
but especially when it comes to these, because we have the contractor, but, you know, it would be nice to know if the RME has a recurring issue with
Every time we have a complaint on a contractor, we have to make sure that we get the RME
Yes,
involved
we
in
do.
that, yeah.
That's
Yes, we do, we
That's
always.
It's the army
Yes,
who's
even the
who we
notice
bring.
to appear.
Yeah, I
so we
understand,
wanted-
they do come up here and they do give their reasoning for whatever went
Response.
sideways. But we need to track him and make sure, hey, this guy's, we're seeing him so often and he should know that he needs
should
to
be
get.
cited too.
And does the tracking stay with the contractor or RME?
With
Does
the
that
RME.
record stay with them?
Follow him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
RME
okay.
should
Yeah.
stay.
Because my concern is the public protection.
Right, exactly.
And
Can I
they
ask
should
a
know
question?
who they're hiring.
If so this case, in particular has 3 RMEs, should we then, charge all 3 RMEs regardless of what point
Well,
of
as soon as they sign the
stability?
contract
Yeah,
to
because
take
it's
on the
based on the
project,
project.
Right,
they
right,
should,
understood.
they should
Based on the
review
project.
what is gone. You should see what when
They
you,
know what they're up against.
and what
Like
how
what
far
he's
they've
saying,
gone
just
and
cause he
what's there.
goes, doesn't mean he just
So if the guy that,
discarded the project,
if the
he's still
first-
involved with the project.
I'm
so
sure
if the
he's
first
paid.
RME disassociated at a time where it was just a footing and they did get inspection for that was
Then-
fine,
then-
good to
then
go,
you- then
and
you-
he left, does he
then-
still also
He's still
assume
involved.
He's still involved,
still
but
involved.
the notation is that they were in accordance with all regulations and at that level. And then the next one takes in, and then if that's in violation, then he's held accountable for that. But everybody has a tracking.
And they do get paid, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's the bottom line. If they got paid for some work that they
They-
did, then they
they're
should be held accountable
responsible.
for
I'm
whatever.
sorry,
Yeah, you should bring that up.
The reason why actually the profile disassociated because he was not paid.
getting
Oh,
paid.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
No,
the
and then it
reason.
wasn't, because
Yeah.
But see, that comes,
That's-
but see, that's the
where it
thing,
gets
because he has rights to sue the whoever it was to get that money. So basically, even if he wasn't paid, that's a, what do you call it, he can go to court on that,
He
but
accepted the responsibility.
he did he did
Was
sign a
involved.
contract that said he was gonna be
Right.
paid. So, I guess if we cite all of them, then they're all, they want to be able to clear their fines and their names, so they're gonna have to take some action.
And not only that, in future contracts that they do accept, they're going to do their due diligence and make sure that everything has been done according to rules and regulations.
I agree with you, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
And
And
then-
the RME that's involved in the project should be involved, even though it's the
Even
beginning,
if he
middle,
didn't
and
do the
the
work,
end.
he should have reviewed everything else
Yeah.
from start to finish.
Building.
Yes, that's, we can make sure
We
that
can,
happens, yeah.
okay.
The name, I'm sorry, the name again of the hangout owner?
Hangout owner is Marifay Pipito. And then the 3 RMEs that were involved were Efren at the beginning, and then Mario Gakakao, and the third is
Harrison.
Aba.
Harrison Abad. That was the last one. He was just like there for like 2 months and then.
So
Even before you sign the contract, you should review what you're getting into.
if she ever comes back to try
Mr. Curtis
to
just
work,
signed the darn thing.
if she comes back and
Yeah.
tries to do a business again, she's gonna have to run to the board.
Because
Yeah,
that is
she-
what the board,
We
you know,
suspended
for,
her.
you know,
We
she's
revoked her
suspended.
license.
She
There
could be
has a
revoked
citation.
actually, you
Yeah.
know.
We suspended.
Okay.
Okay, so number 3, the last case was case number 2024-0402, Bertha Cruz versus DQ3 Designs, David Kitugua. So this is a container house sale, and after investigation, we found out that Mr. Kitugua did not actually did any construction work on this one here. He had just what you call that,
Transported?
outsourced, you know, the other portion of it. He did not do any electrical or anything. So, you know, he didn't have any
He
violation.
sold her the container, dropped
That's
it
it.
off.
Sold the container, and then other people, you know, like the licensed electrician, did, you know, the electrical work and the other portion of it.
Where's
This is designs,
this at?
DQ3
Swamp Grove.
designs, does he provide the design with the container?
I
There's
think they're
no
the
des-
prefab
It's
houses,
prefab.
right? Yeah.
Pop up.
It comes with windows,
Yeah.
a door, and then he just drops it off. Like
Like
that's
he-
what he's.
So what was she
that's what he
suing
does.
for?
Oh, because I think in the contract, I think the homeowner was misunderstood when she signed, because on the bottom it does say outsource, like electrical connections, plumbing connections.
Oh, so she said, oh, I thought it was all in one.
She yeah,
Shame.
she assumed that,
Yeah, that
she
sucks.
assumed that he was in
Gonna
charge
take
of
her,
doing
yeah.
all these things, yeah. So I guess that's what, we had to find that out the hard way too, we went out and
Signed
just
the-
checked everything
In
and
the
found out there was
contract, read the
another
contract
contractor
and everything.
involved, yeah.
Just
Is it
sign
20
it.
foot or 40?
2 20-foot
What
containers, yeah,
220, 220s?
2.
It's kind of like a plug and play kind of home.
Yeah.
How much was
do
it?
they
How
cost?
much does it cost?
I can look back at the contract, but I think 2 of them together was like 40, maybe less.
So how do they anchor these container
Ooh, you
homes?
don't wanna know, okay.
Okay.
No, that one did
Put the
not
hollow
have
block,
any-
Maybe another conversation.
the hollow block on the four corners.
If it's permanent, it has to
So
be
they did
permitted.
two.
Yeah, yeah.
It has to go to
That's what I was,
DPW.
I was
40-foot
asking,
container?
Right,
yeah.
They
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
incur.
They got
It's
they got
just
building
dropped.
permits and everything, $70,000 to do all that stuff. He's put 2.
The site, oh my god.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why everybody.
Oh, the agate, yeah.
Yeah,
It
nice.
has to be
It's not
around
bad, yeah.
around that 70 to 80,000 with, you know, the septic tank, leaching field, electrical,
That can go up in like a
power.
week,
Just
2
go-
weeks.
I know,
Yeah.
but it's the cheapest way to build a house.
I know, but I've seen some of those folding ones in Majuro and they just rusted.
That's the one that she
Yeah,
had.
because of-
Yeah, the one that you pulled out,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
that
so
man.
I think that's
sorry.
it for the
you,
investigation
that's it. Thank you.
report, so we have
Nice.
2 action items coming up from that
Good
report
job.
for the Menzies and the Army's findings. Okay, so moving on to our director, the director's report.
Okay, good news. We had a public hearing yesterday, on our rules and regulations. All indications, show that for the most part, the senators that were present are on board. And Senator Kanata should be, putting it on the floor, to get it approved by the legislature. So we're really excited about that. The office did a lot of work, and not to mention that that's gonna take care of our specialties.
660.
Yeah, 668, that'll be out of it. That was a great part of the week. Also, for our upcoming training, we're sending 3 of our office personnel to a procurement class. There's 4 modules. This class is given out through GCC. The price is about $208 per module. So we're sending 3 of our ladies to that. It's good for our office. Hopefully, after we get this class rolling, we can get something.
Just module 1?
Yeah, module 1.
Module 1 for
For all
now.
three?
Yeah.
Module
Basic.
1, and then there's 3 more after that. So.
I recommend that 1 and 2 is the most really important.
Are you
I really will. I really will.
As far as continuity, how long have these employees been with us?
A lot of, some of them, about more than 10 years.
Oh,
for-
okay, so they're gonna
For
be around for a
They'll
while,
retire.
they're not like gonna be replaced if there's a change in
No, no.
administration or anything like that.
No.
I just want to make sure that when we invest in training, that they still stick around
Yes.
it's not one of these,
It'll help them if they get promoted to their agency.
yeah.
Also,
That's good.
because Public Works were so generous, they have a federal, 3 federal individuals that they paid for. They get a free one for a federal grant. So we got one of our Ms. Stanley here going to that class on our free ride along for the federal class. So.
Never known you to give anything free.
Which class is this? Huh? Oh, grant writing?
Right.
Somewhere they'll pay for it.
Yeah. So yes. So we're attending the we're attending the signing this Friday for that to say thank you. So we'll be there. But
That one's still playing.
you know, at least I am very pro education for our team. So anything that we can try to benefit off, we're gonna try to reach out and try to get that done. So that's why we're getting these things. Hopefully our agency can benefit from that down the road. That's about it as far as my side.
If I may, so for the education on the rules and regulations, again, thank you to the director
And
for
staff, yeah.
and staff for working
Good
so
job.
hard on
Good
that.
job, everyone.
Yeah, and again, thank you for speaking yesterday, hitting all points. Missed opportunity on my part, but I will submit a written testimony for record. But I just wanted to clarify, when you did address the legislature, you did mention that there is some language that we need to remove. Did we submit a
Yes.
clean copy
Yes,
of
yes,
that?
yes.
Okay.
The one part, it was just a typo
Yeah.
through the whole thing, and it was just one area. We made it very clear to the Senator Kanata, and he said there would be no problem on the floor. He'll clean that up.
Great, so again, thank you for that. Okay, so we will move on, no old business, new business. We have been provided the updates for the C13 electrical and C11 demolition exams. May I ask what the staff member that was in charge of updating?
Okay, so Ms. Nita,
Nita?
yeah, she's in charge of all our exams
Okay.
with the investigator. So right now, to get it approved today, we have the C11, the study guide, and the demolition contractor, and then the C13, the study guide, and then of course the electrical contractor. These are the exams for review and approval. This is in accordance to our OPA report to bring up our exams to, so this is our fourth.
The A and B has been approved by the board last board meeting, so we implemented it yesterday,
Yes,
the,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah.
And then this is just the next 2 tests. And we're hoping to shoot for every month, the board to approve 2 exams. And I know it's a long process, but it's a long process to make the exams.
Are you telling us that we have to take, you have to read this and pass the exam?
If I do, then I want the I want the certificate.
It's a lot of work, thank you,
It's
Steph.
a lot of work.
Now, on the basis of the, where did you obtain the information for the basis of the update?
Basically, for the electrical, of course, the NEC, the NFPA, even the new
So
Guam
industry
Tropical,
standards and everything?
yeah,
Yeah.
Guam Tropical Energy Code, which we just adopted also in the island, so we have included it there too. So it's all, the standards and,
So if somebody says your tests are on par with US mainland tests, then we
Yes.
can
we can
honestly
say,
say that. Perfect.
even IBC too,
Yes.
but it's IBC
Yes,
2009 because we're still IBC 2009. So we just stick to the IBC 2009. And some from the California Licensing Board, exams also, and Florida.
Oh, that's perfect. Great job. Thank you.
Yeah, we tried our best, to make it like on the modern
Yeah.
age.
Industry standard, yes.
Yeah, not like the old ones we have, it's very, very far behind. It was actually, when I was looking at the exam for the electrical, it was 1994.
That's 30 years ago.
That far behind.
And I noticed we use a lot of acronyms here. Is that standard? Is that par for the course here?
Yeah.
Par for the
That's
course
typical, yeah.
in that particular,
Yeah.
track, yes.
But I think in the study guides, it shows the.
Yes.
Definition.
Yeah.
The definition, it
Yes,
shows the
that's why I
definition.
said, do I have to take this,
Yeah.
read this and take
They
this
have,
course?
Yes.
They have a list of definitions,
Yes,
Yes,
there
yes,
is,
exactly.
yeah, in the study guide.
Definitions and
guess I better
other
read the study guide so I know.
for the ABC.
You'd be
Yeah,
surprised.
horrible at the acronyms.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do we have a motion to approve the C13 electrical and C11 demolition contractor exam and accompanying study guides?
Do we have to approve this today, or are we, what's management asking us to do?
Just to approve it, if you like to have a study, we can stay back and look through it and approve it. But, it's, we just want it to be approved by the board, look through it and,
No, I'm looking at this one question. Am I allowed to talk about the questions? No?
No, so
That's why
It's still confidential.
right?
okay, so,
Your comment there.
Okay.
So-
There's a trick question in here that's pretty good.
It's good.
Hey, like
we
that one?
can pause for a work session. Would you like to do that?
would you like to pause?
So-
Okay, okay. Can we pause this? I'd like to say something.
Because it's confidential?
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
and it's a
Just say,
public.
just say,
Okay.
just say the
On
reason
the
why.
record.
Okay,
Yes.
Yep.
due to
are we good?
confidentiality, yeah.
So, my instructions.
Or offline?
Yes, my instructions
Yes.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye. So back on?
Okay, so we can get
Okay.
these
Thank you.
exams out.
Can we explain for the record just why we went offline?
Oh, yes.
Just so we don't get
Yeah.
dinged on it?
Yeah, so for the record, we took a momentary pause for a brief work session to discuss the exams, specific questions in the exams. So these are confidential documents of the CLB that contractors will be taking. So we did not want to discuss specific questions on the exam only. We have reviewed and approved C13 and C11 exams and study guides. Just to talk on this issue though, again, it comes back to a matter we've been discussing with fees. Do we charge for the study guides and the, okay.
Yes.
And I know there's an
No,
exam
not
fee.
all of
them, not all of them.
All of the law.
Just
The
the
law, the law,
Just
the
the
law,
law.
Yeah.
that's the law.
I see,
Because
okay.
it's
It's free,
copyrighted.
it's free.
Yeah.
The study guide from us is free, but the one for the law,
It's 70.
So maybe in terms of or when we provide the study guides, maybe just doing it electronically as opposed to, you know, to save
Right, right,
some
right.
Which is
costs.
study
you
guide.
Usually
know,
they're not
especially if
given
we're
that
not
until they
charging.
pass the interview. We deem they're qualified to move forward for the exams, and they'll be given a copy of the study, not just.
Also
Not
though, another
anybody.
issue, a lot of contractors don't really go online, like they're really old fashioned and
Oh, they like
rather
hard
have hard
copies,
copies.
yeah.
But they need to move.
we try. We
Oh,
Well, if you put it
Try to
mandatory,
take this thing.
then they will have to abide by the butters, right?
forced migration.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, well, moving on to announcements. And the announcement we have is our next, regular board meeting is scheduled for June 19, 2024 at 10 a.m. And with that, we can adjourn this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 11:20 a.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank you,
wonderful
everyone.
day.
Thank you, staff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, board.
Yeah.
Third.